What's going on? Welcome back to Trending Stocks. Today is February the 11th. I want to give you a quick pre-market update, go over some of the hot movers and what big money is doing today. Before we get into any of that, make sure to hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off with data points, today is more of a Fed speaker day. You do have Hammock coming out in 1 hour. So I believe she's speaking at the U of Kentucky. And it's going to be on inflation. Aside from that, though, you have Powell coming out at 9 o'clock. Bowman and also Williams. So it's going to be a fun time. Powell's going to be talking on a lot of the hot topics such as inflation, data, monetary policy. So that definitely is going to cause a hell of a lot of volatility. And then the market right now is pulling back, I think, just because of some of this and fear of what could potentially be said, in addition to CPI tomorrow. So looking here, Dow is down 0.11, S&P down 0.16, NASDAQ down 0.4. Nothing really crazy, but I think in general it's maybe anticipated or kind of expected. So let me know your viewpoint on that. Getting right to it though, Sofi is just piggybacking off of the broader market, so it is down 0.46. They do have their fireside chat today, so that is going to be at 1:50, I believe, Eastern, and so that's going to be with Anthony Noto at the Bank of America Securities 2025 Financial Services Conference. A lot of high expectations, not going to lie, for this. A lot of people are waiting for some Easter eggs, some good words of wisdom of what is coming next for Sofi, not just a regurgitation of their previous earnings. So that's going to be coming out. Aside from that, though, shorts definitely a little bit more active lately, but 12.26% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 131.99 million shares overall are being shorted. Right now, pre-market with at 15.08, it is slightly below this pivot point, $15.12. So definitely just watch for that to be that key pivot for today. So today has to be, it for sure has to close above that. If not, $14.70 is going to be that next strong support. And depending on what is said, you could see that potentially be touched, or flip side, you could see a nice push higher to that $15.53 mark. So let me know your viewpoint. Just kind of watch the data points, support and resistance, all in all though. But moving on, SMCI, they do have their earnings after hours today. You're having a little bit of a pullback, nothing to do with the company itself, just the fact that the company's ran up, so it's more linked to its technicals. So 17.56%, it was green yesterday. So I think any stock running up that much, there's going to be a certain level of profit taking, fear. So that's kind of what is moving SMCI. 16.98% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 84.99 million shares overall are being shorted. And then just generally, with at $41 and change, it is trading between this R3 and this R2. So 39.94 will be a strong support, followed by 37.28. I don't see that 37 being touched, possibly this 39, depending on what does happen and what is said today. Flip side, 44.24 is going to be that next strong target / resistance point. So let me know your viewpoint on that. Quickly going back over here though, looking at the estimates. So you have 75 cents for the earnings per share, 5.94 billion for the revenue estimates. So something just again to add. Shopify did do fairly okay on their earnings. So as you can kind of see, they did beat on their actual sales. So 2.81 billion versus the estimated 2.73 billion. Same for earnings per share. They did beat on that. So 44 cents versus 43, the estimate. And I think right now the conference is going on right now, so we'll just have to wait and see. But it looks like they did raise the actual guidance. Except it looks like margins did go down slightly, but nonetheless, it is pulling back down 4.5%. And it's like shorts looks like they're increasing roughly around 16,000 shares. It's not a squeeze play. Only 1.42% of the free float is being shorted. So I'm just bringing this up just for analysis purposes, but shorts didn't really know where it was going leading into the earnings as well. You can kind of see just they were flat. So normally you see them increasing or decreasing as they are bullish or bearish on their upcoming earnings. This one was straight up flat, but with that 114 and change, some key support and resistance points to watch for that 112.62. So that's going to be a key pivot, very strong support. 121 is going to be the next strong target / resistance point. So it's going to be a very volatile earnings, but most likely it is going to, in my opinion at least, stay within this range. If not, depending on what it said, you could see a pullback possibly to that 103. But like I said, anything is possible. Another company unveiling the earnings, but they got their asses handed to them. They did miss on their revenue by, I think it was like 49%. So ticker FLNC sitting at $7.83 pre-market, currently down 40%. So yeah, I think right now, especially starting last week, the market was really favoring future guidance. This stock gave dismal future guidance, and not only that though, but they did miss on a lot of the key metrics. I think it's now a good understanding that companies are going to kind of meet or at least exceed their actual key metrics. Just the future guidance is somewhat iffy. This stock failed on all aspects, so yeah, it's getting slaughtered. But 24.3% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 15.39 million shares. So it turns out shorts definitely did win this one. Although if you kind of look, they were returning leading into the earnings slightly, so maybe they did feel that the earnings was going to be somewhat of a beat. Possibly, that's again one way to view it as, but with it at $7.90, it is below all the key fib levels. Moving over to the classic, just watch for $8.52 to be that strong pivot. It was actually trading during the overnight trading largely around the 850 range, so that's going to be a key point to really watch for today. So let me know your viewpoint on that. And then BBAI is pulling back slightly. Nothing to do with the company itself. Same goes for SMCI. It ran up, and it's a pretty big momentum play. And a lot of these individuals today could be seen as momentum killers. So I think there's just a certain level of fear right now, and that's why it's down about 3%. Nothing really crazy, nothing from the company itself or anything. 20.11% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 36.58 million shares. This stock definitely is very interesting, only because like a lot of stocks run up and then shorts kind of mimic it. They obviously increase at the same time because they feel like it's not justified. BBAI has ran up, but shorts have just maintained their position. They haven't done anything. Until recently, they actually started to return a little bit. So shorts and BBAI, very interesting dynamic for that. With $8.48, it is trading between this R1 and the pivot. So 727 is going to be a strong support. $9.34 is going to be that next strong target / resistance point. And I think in reality, both have the possibility of being touched. It all comes down to what Powell says. If he's optimistic about rate cuts for the foreseeable future, which I don't see really possible, but if he does say that, then you'll see easily that $9, this R1 being touched. Flip side, if he's hawkish or whatever, or just generally bearish, then yeah, you could see this 723 or possibly right below that as well. So let me know your viewpoint on these stocks. Is there any other stocks that's floating your boat? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon where I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolute bangers, so pop over there and take a look. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.